RoboHouse Reads. You're listening to the If You Would Use This series that is based on the observation that inventions are often used in ways that are far from what the original inventors envisioned in their labs. So why not learn from this phenomenon and take early-stage robotic inventions from their lab to a randomly selected workplace and then see what happens? Okay, so RoboHouse Reads with Lisa Omens and Joost van der Loo. Lisa, before we start, tell us a bit about yourself.
Yes.
Who are you?
So I am Lisa Omens. I am a student industrial design engineering at TU Delft and also a reporter for RoboHouse.
This time we're going to look again at an If You Would Use This article, investigated and written by Lisa.
Yes.
What was it about this time?
This article was about a bike courier and about how he would use a gyroscopic backpack, which is the technology that I investigated.
And how long have you been working on this piece? Was it a quick one, or was it? I
No,
know,
not
of
at
course,
all.
but tell us about the process.
I think we started when I had been working there for a few weeks, but it took up a few months. This article. It turned out to be quite hard to reach out to people, find people who were willing to work with me on this article.
And is that because you're a person that is really difficult or dangerous to work with, or?
Well, I do hope I am quite a nice person. No, it was just hard to reach out to experts because they are just people with very busy lives and also hard to reach. You can't get a personal phone number from any scientist I tried to speak with. So that was quite a challenge.
And so how did you make it work eventually?
Well, after many phone calls and many emails, I did get to speak with a scientist, Bram Sterke, and I think what helped was pointing out that I was very enthusiastic about his subject as well and making him a little warm for this article.
And how was it to approach a bicycle courier? Did you use any specific techniques for that, or was it straightforward?
Well, I did not use the right technique at first. I went to one of the locations of Flink, and I got to speak with one of the Flink managers. But it turns out to be quite a hassle if you do it the official way. But because our article wasn't really specific about Flink, we kind of used a more personal approach and approached by couriers more personally, and that worked a lot better.
Yeah, because it's not really an interview with Flink as such, but more with a bicycle courier.
Yes, exactly. Because what I noticed in the article as well, it's much more about Justin as a person than it was about him being an official bike courier of Flink.
Yeah, so this is also a message for if someone from Flink listens to this episode, they can be assured that all views expressed in the article are Justin's personal views, right?
Yes, exactly. I mean, he just speaks for himself and not for everyone working there.
How did you select the profession of bicycle couriers, or how did we select it? For the people who don't know,
we have a wheel of fortune that we can spin, and it has all kinds of professions on it. So we just spun the wheel, and then it landed on a bike courier for my article.
And what was your first response when you saw that?
Oh, I thought, that's nice, because it's quite a current topic, because the last few years these couriers are like booming business. You have so many new online supermarkets.
How heavy is the backpack anyway? Do you know it? Do you know how much it weighs?
The backpack of the bike courier?
I was now thinking of the robotic backpack. How heavy is it?
The backpack, the one prototype they had been working with was 16 kilograms, which is quite heavy. That's like 2 bags of potatoes. I don't think I would be able to carry that. But the new iteration of the design is actually only 5 kilograms, which is a lot more doable.
Yeah, so 5 kilograms. And then how heavy would a backpack be that Justin is
usually
carrying?
Quite light, because usually you just order a meal, but sometimes when you order drinks or like a crate of beer, it can get very heavy. One of Justin's ideas was to make sure that this backpack could relieve some of the weight so that they could deliver more efficiently. They could order multiple orders at the same time.
So here we go. RoboHouse Reads. What if you would use this?
backpack for balancing. What if you would use this? The GyBAR is a robotic backpack with a medical purpose for people unsettled by strokes and spinal cord injuries. But what could it do for a bicycle courier? Remember the spinning tops we used to play with as a kid? It was mesmerizing to see how these pointy little objects stayed upright without keeling over. This so-called gyroscopic effect is now part of a robotic solution for supporting people with balancing issues. Before taking this innovation to the field of bicycle delivery, RoboHouse spoke with medical product developer and researcher Bram Sterke. The essence of the GyBAR are those spheres in the backpack, says Bram Sterke, who helped to develop the wearable robot GyBAR at TU Delft and in his current role at Erasmus MC. They provide a counteracting rotational force. These control moment gyroscopes are already used in aerospace and boats, but not yet in healthcare. I spoke with practitioners about a possible application in the clinic. Now there's the GyBAR, a medical aid for people with balance disorders due to a stroke or spinal cord injury. The GyBAR development team has been working hard. They have made great strides since their last prototype. We have reduced the weight significantly. We went from 16 kilograms to 5 kilograms, says Sterke. There are also still things to work on. Right now, an issue is the sound it makes. It produces a noise similar to a dentist's drill. Just like Bram, who found use for gyroscopes in a new field, our If You Would Use This series brings budding technology to new areas in the world of physical work to learn from the future, because technology often ends up in different places than its inventors have in mind. We met with Justin, a bicycle courier at grocery delivery service Flink, and explained the GyBAR and its essential qualities. Then we asked him, what if you would use this? How could this robot change life on the bike? Bicycle couriers tend to be high-energy people. Justin fits that mold. His delivery job is just one of the many things that keep him busy. He currently also studies accounting and works an internship. On top of that, he is trying to start up a small apparel business. I see my job as a way of financing my plans. With this enterprise, I can put my creativity to work. We noticed his creativity and thoughtfulness in the brainstorming session as well. Justin swiftly came up with 4 different ideas of how the GyBAR could make his work life easier. Idea number 1, safety balancing. Justin's first idea stays close to the current goal of GyBAR. If the backpack could help with balancing, I would be able to deliver even faster without it being unsafe. He already has a big backpack to put the orders he delivers in. Could the technology be implemented in this bag? Idea number 2, relieve heavy weight. The orders can be heavy, which is inconvenient, especially over longer distances. Perhaps the backpack could take some of the weight off of Justin's shoulders. This would be less tiring and also more efficient. He says, sometimes 3 couriers all head in the same direction with 1 order each, because the orders are too heavy. It would be much more efficient to just send 1 courier instead of 3 orders. Idea number 3, weather protection. When asked about the downsides of his work, Justin told us, I really enjoy riding around delivering when the weather is nice. Delivering when it is raining is a lot more uncomfortable. Umbrellas or rain hoods don't work that well on the bike, and it can also create unsafe situations. Bad news. Bad weather is when people decide to order groceries. Justin sees an opportunity in the robotic backpack. Adding something that protects me from the rain but is not impractical on the bike would be perfect. Idea number 4, cushion for falling. Bike delivery can get dangerous, especially when the streets are slippery with ice, and electrical bikes go a lot faster than a normal one. When you fall badly. Justin imagines a way he could land softly in case he loses his balance. The backpack could have airbags that pop out when you crash. Something that stands out from Justin's ideas is that they add extra features to the existing product. For the GyBAR to be useful to Justin, he apparently needs additional functionalities, which makes sense when we consider working life on a bike. With extra balance comes extra speed, but more speed also brings more risks and more discomforts, hence the new features. What does our scientist think? Bram points out that Justin's ideas all seem to start with the notion of GyBAR as a backpack. He says, it would be interesting to see what happens when you don't just stick with the backpack. You could get the gyroscopic spheres out of the backpack and attach them to the bike, for instance.